Firstly, yesterday I met Manohar and he said you should speak only for 3 minutes. I've been teaching for the last 35 years. And that too, when I go to the board, I talk for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And now when you ask me to speak for 3 minutes, it's very difficult. Once Rajaratnam, a great literary giant, said, somebody asked him to come for the function. He said, then he asked, how long should I speak? He said, you should speak for 10 minutes. Then he said, please give me 2 months' time. Now I have been given only 3 minutes. Therefore, how do I speak? So let me tell the story of my life in 1 minute. So when I did my BE Electronics, 74 to 79 in UVC, then I thought I would do something. I appeared for IAS. I went up to the interview level. I failed. But by that time, I had registered for my MA Economics. Well, in IAS. So I registered for my law. I failed again. In the third attempt, I passed KS examination, but I failed in the IAS main examination. But by that time, I had completed my MA Economics and second year law. I was in HMT R&D. I came back to UVC in 1980 for part-time teaching. That is after 79, I was there for 6 months in HMT. When I came back, and I thought that I should do well and I should become a teacher. By 82, I lost my job because I had conducted a strike in my college. So my teacher in journalism and mass communication said, you become a journalist. So I started doing mass communication and journalism in 82. But I came back to the college after 1 year. By the time I had completed my law, MA Economics, journalism, mass communication, I said that I should do something. So I registered for my PhD under a great guide, Professor K. Venkatagirigada, who had not given PhD till then to anybody. So such was my passion that I wanted to complete my PhD, but still I was without a job. But 1979 to 1989, I was a teaching assistant in UVC. By the time I had completed my PhD economics, I had registered for my Master of Business Finance and industrial relation and public relation. And by the time I could get my job, it was 1989, and I became a lecturer in UVC on a permanent basis. Then I applied for my MTech in Indian Institute of Science. I could go there and do my computer science. When I came back, I became senior to all my teachers. And by 1995, when they said that computer science was still building up, then they said, you should go and do your PhD in IIT Madras. I went to IIT Madras and came back. I became a head of the department. And by 40 years, I became head of the department and principal of Union College. And by 48, I became principal of the college. And I've been serving there. And all this in a span of, I became the youngest principal of that Visvesvaraya college in its 100 years. And if Gururaj, Professor Gururaj, who is here, his son was my student. And he said that my son is remembering you. Then I thought, so we feel happy when a student remembers. And when I got my professor post, all my teachers went and asked the Vice Chancellor, sir, you should make Venugopal professor because he'll be there for 10 to 15 years as principal in UVC. And I was fortunate enough. At that time, Professor Siddhappa made me the professor in 2002, and I was able to become the youngest principal of that college. Now, when you talk about a teacher, it is very difficult. It is very difficult to become a good teacher. I have served for 35 years. Technology has changed. In those days, teachers used to remember the name of the student. And when my teacher used to tell, Venugopal, you have got good marks, that is, the answer script is coded, and still the teacher says that is your handwriting, and that is your paper. And now today we are in virtual world, a virtual teacher. Those days we had Dronacharya, a virtual teacher for Ekalavya. It is because of the students. It is because of the students the teacher becomes great. Dronacharya was known, he became a great teacher because of Arjuna and Ekalavya. So when I always see my students in electronics and computer science, they've gone into very high positions. So on the other day when I was talking about my student, Rajkumar Bhuya, he is the highest cited person in the world in cloud computing. his citation is more than CNR. So that is the type of, when you feel that your students have done well, your teacher grows. And you see, all my students who are doing, most of them are in US, and I think your son is also in US. So I feel very happy. When I went to US in Southern California, for 1 month I could meet my students. And you know, Bangaloreans are scattered in California, University of Southern California. And you feel very happy when your students recognize you, when they meet you, when you go there. I had no problem staying there for 1 month. And you see, we had great teachers. Buddha was a great teacher. He spread his religion throughout, from Egypt to other Indonesia, Japan, China, and they are the leaders of the world. And if you see Swami Vivekananda, he was a great teacher. Buddha was a great preacher. And Mahatma Gandhi was a great inspirer. And Krishna was a great manager. And all these qualities have to be in a teacher. You are in a virtual world. How does this real teacher becomes better than the virtual teacher now? There is a virtual world. We are in virtual world. When we saw that Google, so this thing, where did this technology come? Doordarshan, it is already there in Mahabharata, where Sanjaya narrates the story of the battle to Dhritarashtra. If you see, Ravana had already built an helicopter aeroplane which is expandable and closable. If you said something, a bullet train, where Modi has already, said that he has to have a train from Ahmedabad to Bombay, then where is the technology coming? When one of my colleagues went to, Japan, about 15 days back, he asked, how does this bullet train go, and where did you get this technology from? He said, this technology is from your country. Then he was alarmed. Where is the technology? He said, Yudhishthira chariot was 4 inches above the ground until he uttered a lie. And that was because of the magnetic, this thing which was there between the earth, and the same technology is used here. We are the technologists of the world. If you see Microsoft, Nadella is there. If you see how many people are working, there are 33% of the Indians working. I do not know what is the percentage in Google, and when Sunil Rao explained us the technology. Whatever is the technology we have already given. Cloning, it was already there. Then if you talk about the wireless world, it is the J.C. Bose who gave the technology of wireless. Wireless, then today we are talking about mobile phones. But we are the originators. We are the developers, and we are working. If you see the entire world where Indians are working, NASA has 33% scientists, 40%, not 33. If you see something like a ballistic missile, that missile was already there in Mahabharata. There you could go and hit a person and come back and report. Do you have a missile like that? No, but we have. So if you see the technology was here. The technology now application is somewhere there, and we are looking towards the developed world. So one thing what I can say is that we are definitely a great civilization. The one premier in China, when he was about to die, then he was asked, what is your wish? Then he said, see, if you do good work in this present world, you will be born in a country called India. And that was his greatness, and that is the civilization. And that's what Swami Vivekananda said. We had great teachers. Nobody can beat this country in civilization, as well as the technology, as well as the inspiration which we gave to the world. One thing I can tell you, ISBR today, by honoring me, my responsibility increases. That means I have to become a better teacher. And I still feel that I have some more years to go and teach. And I am overwhelmed by, say, Guru Raj, when he said Guru Brahma. Then on the other day when Guru Utsava was heard, when Modi has said that we should have Guru Utsava, there was a television debate whether we have to have Teachers Day or Guru Utsava. Then I said, ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಗುರುಗಳಂದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ಇದು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. That word is very pleasant. We do not call teacher Brahma, teacher Vishnu, and teacher Brahma, we call Guru. Guru is a very, this thing word, nobody can replace this Guru, nobody can replace this teacher. And to become a good teacher in this virtual world, where a virtual teacher, virtual classroom, virtual copying, everything is virtual. And if you want to become a real teacher, you have a very big challenge ahead. So teachers, do well, learn well, and try to do what you can, be a model to the society. Once Rajaratnam repeated, what does the teacher do? A student learns from a teacher when he's a student, and when you are a teacher, you learn from your students. I have learned from my students for these 35 years to come to this stage on to you today to address you. Thank you very much. Thank you, ISBR, for honoring me.